Today, we are going to tackle about the introduction to 21st century literacies. We are going to look into several definitions of literacy, and what it means to be literate in the context of the 21st century, and learn about the evolving perspectives of literacy. According to Blake and Blake, literacy is at the heart of world development and human rights. Literacy is actually good not only for the individual but for the society as well. It is the means to achieving our personal, national, and international goals for individual, social, economic, and political development. With literacy, one becomes a responsible individual and member of the community and is able to give its significant contribution for the good of everybody. Almost all forms of success in different aspects of learning or education start with being literate, especially in our world today. So, let us now try to understand the various meanings given to literacy. The word literacy stems from the word literate, which is derived from the Latin word literatus, meaning a person marked with letters, that is, distinguished or identified by letters, and it carried with it the idea that such a person was cultured and educated. The word literate first appeared in the 15th century when subjects in school all had written texts or composed of letters that had to be studied. The ability to read and write was therefore of prime importance then, leading to the strong association of being literate with the ability to read and write. This simple and most straightforward definition of literacy has caused the most discussion according to Blake and Blake in 2002. It is because, arriving at an exact definition of the term, literacy, is difficult since its opposite term, illiteracy, may connote several negative ideas. For instance, illiteracy is often associated with ignorance and poverty, with people who are thought to be of below-average intelligence or who are underprivileged when in fact, there are illiterate individuals who are not somehow less intelligent or less worthy than those who are able to read and write. These conflicting ideas will continue to challenge the definition of literacy. In 1973, Miller looked into this conventional concept of literacy and came up with 3 subcategories. The subcategories include basic literacy, comprehension literacy, and functional or practical literacy. Basic literacy is the ability to associate visual shape or symbols with their corresponding sound or spoken name, even without thoroughly understanding what it means. This subcategory of conventional literacy is basically reading the letters or words with a certain level of understanding, otherwise reading has not taken place. Comprehension literacy is the ability to understand the meaning of what is being read, which means being able to understand the meanings of words, sentences, paragraph, and other written materials. Functional or practical literacy, on the other hand, is the ability to read, with comprehension, written materials needed to perform everyday tasks. So, we use the term functional literacy to mean an acceptable grasp of the skills of reading and writing for functioning in society, such as, to be able to drive responsibly, to be successful in the workplace, to be conscious of local, regional, national, and of global politics and economics, to take part in social and recreational activities, and to make decisions on his or her own about what educational paths to follow. Thus, in the conventional definition of literacy, there are 2 important things in reading or literacy. These are the text to be read, and the meaning or message being communicated. When there is no text, there would be nothing to read, and without the meaning, the text is reduced to incomprehensible symbols. So far, those are the important aspects of the conventional definition of literacy. In the past years, there have been several definitions of literacy from scholars, literacy workers, and educational program planners. This shows that literacy is such a complex and dynamic concept. It has been continually defined and interpreted in multiple of ways. UNESCO, for instance, defined literacy as the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, and compute, using printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning in enabling individuals to achieve their goals, to develop their knowledge and potential, and to participate fully in their community and wider society. For Gundewire, literacy is a form of knowledge, competence, and skills in a particular field or area. With this definition, it appears that modern views equate literacy with knowledge. The shift in definition of literacy from reading and writing to knowledge is especially important as we explore the new literacies of the 21st century that seem far removed from the contexts upon which conventional literacy is based. These new literacies, which refer to the skills and bodies of knowledge that are necessary for survival and productivity in the information age, are not actually new per se, as in the sense that they never existed before. Rather, we consider them new because the contexts in which the old skills and knowledge are being employed are new, both in nature and in scope. For example, the ability to translate textual information into images is not a new skill, but it is the ability to do it in a way that is concise, complete, and clear that is certainly new, or perhaps the tools and technology being used are new, and how such information could reach the most number of people worldwide. Similarly, being able to verify the truth value and veracity of a document is not a new skill, but, being able to do so when there are 100 similar documents available to you online is. With the rise of the new literacies, three things have been critical. First is the increased reach. We are communicating with more people, from more diverse cultures, across vaster distances than ever before. Second is increased means of communication. We are communicating in more ways and at faster speeds than ever before. And third is increased breadth of content. We are communicating about more things than ever before. In line with these critical things in the rise of the new literacies are the questions on how do we work together with people of different cultures who might have different perspectives on communication, work ethics, values, religious beliefs, and worldviews? In an age where information is power, how do we leverage both current and emergent technologies so that our endeavors are both productive and profitable? How do we navigate and manage the veritable minefield of information that was once considered taboo and private, and is now online, for all the world to see and judge, whether we like it or not? As we journey in the present times, we are facing more complex questions which require new set of skills and knowledge, something that schools of the past have never had to teach. With the changes in with whom, how, and why we communicate, new literacies are required not only to make sense of the changes, but also to use new technologies and paradigms in meaningful and productive ways, something required not only of students, but of teachers as well. For us to be literate in these new literacies, we shall discuss and explore them in the next units of this course.